And they're away. And Grand Canyon is the first to show. Grand Canyon, as they come down to the first of the 19 fences from Strombolis, Tide Cottage going up to join them, then Carrageen Hill, then comes Gaffer, just in behind them Kaz, and they're all safely over the first and coming down to the first of the ditches now. Grand Canyon, Tide Cottage going up to join him, Strombolis and Carrageen Hill and Kaz, just in behind them Silverbuck, Jack of Trumps and Laxon very nearly went at that ditch. They're swinging right-handed now, and Tide Cottage, confirmed front runner, has gone on from Grand Canyon, and it's a fast pace, and it's Tide Cottage from Grand Canyon, then Strombolis and Carrageen Hill, then a gap to Kaz, and then Silverbuck, and behind them Gaffer and Jack of Trumps, then Border Incident and Bachelor's Hall, and behind Bachelor's Hall is Laxon, as they race now towards the third fence. Tide Cottage, Grand Canyon, these two from Strombolis and Carrageen Hill, and a gap then to Kaz and Silverbuck and Gaffer and Border Incident and Jack of Trumps. Tide Cottage there in the lead from Grand Canyon, Strombolis and Carrageen Hill, then Silverbuck. Coming down to the second ditch now. As they jump it, Grand Canyon on the inside out jumps Tide Cottage. Carrageen Hill was third, Strombolis next, and then comes Jack of Trumps with Silverbuck and Border Incident and Kaz, and then Gaffer, and then Bachelor's Hall, and behind Bachelor's Hall is Laxon, and the leaders coming to the next. Grand Canyon from Tide Cottage. Those two from Carrageen Hill and Strombolis, and Jack of Trumps and Border Incident, and then comes Silverbuck, and behind Silverbuck is Kaz, and Grand Canyon coming to the next to jump it in the lead from Tide Cottage. Then Carrageen Hill and Strombolis and Silverbuck on the inside of Jack of Trumps, and then Border Instant. Behind Border Instant is Kaz, then Gaffer and Bachelor's Hall and Laxon. And they've got a long run now to the next fence, which will be the first in the straight on the first circuit, and it's Grand Canyon in the lead from Tide Cottage in second. Carrageen Hill and Strombolis comes next, and then Silverbuck. Behind Silverbuck is Jack of Trumps, and then Border Instant. Behind Border Instant is Kaz, and then Gaffer, and then Bachelor's Hall and Laxon. So coming to this first fence in the straight now on the first circuit, towards the left of the picture is Grand Canyon, towards the right is Tide Cottage. They land almost together. Then comes Strombolis and Silverbuck and Carrageen Hill, and then Jack of Trumps, Border Incident and Kaz. Grand Canyon there in the lead from Tide Cottage and Silverbuck, and then Strombolis and Jack of Trumps and Carrageen Hill and Border Incident and Kaz and Gaffer and Bachelor's Hall and Laxon. Coming down to the last fence in the straight on the first circuit, Grand Canyon lands in the lead from Tide Cottage, Silverbuck, Strombolis, then comes Jack of Trumps and Border Incident and Carrageen Hill and Kaz and Gaffer and Laxon, and finally Bachelor's Hall. And as they pass the winning post on the first circuit, come to fence number 10, the water. Grand Canyon leads from Tide Cottage and Silverbuck and Strombolis, and then Jack of Trumps. Behind Jack of Trumps is Border Incident, then comes Kaz. Behind Kaz, Carrageen Hill and Gaffer and Laxon, and finally Bachelor's Hall. Coming to the water now, number 10 of the 19 fences in all in the King George VI chase, and it's Grand Canyon and Tide Cottage from Silverbuck, who jumps it third. Strombolis on the outside, Jack of Trumps, and then Border Instant, then comes Kaz and Carrageen Hill, and then Gaffer. Behind Gaffer, Bachelor's Hall and Laxon as they come down to the next. Grand Canyon and Tide Cottage from very close to them, Silverbuck, then Jack of Trumps very close to Border Instant in behind them, and Strombolis on the outside, and they're coming to another ditch now. And as they jump it, Grand Canyon, Tide Cottage, Silverbuck on the inside, and then comes Jack of Trumps. Just jumping it is Laxon, who's unshipped his rider there, and Laxon is gone. The horse is all right. I haven't seen the rider rise yet, but as they swing right-handed, it's Grand Canyon in the lead from Tide Cottage in second. In third is Silverbuck. Four is Jack of Trumps breathing down their necks. Then comes Strombolis and Border Incident. Behind Border Incident is Kaz. They're virtually the only ones left in it. Alan Walters up on his feet all right, unhurt after that fall from Laxon, and it's Grand Canyon from Tide Cottage and Silverbuck third. Jack of Trumps is 4 and 5 comes Strombolis, 6 and 7 a Border Incident and Kaz. These are the only ones virtually to be considered now as they come down to the next fence. And as they do so, Grand Canyon from Tide Cottage, Silverbuck and Jack of Trumps getting closer. Then just in behind them come Kaz, Border Incident and Strombolis. It's still Grand Canyon, the New Zealander, in the lead from Tide Cottage for Ireland. Then comes Silverbuck for the North. Then comes Jack of Trumps for Ireland, who didn't jump it too well in fourth. Behind him comes Border Incident, making a bit of progress now. Behind Border Incident is Kaz and then Strombolis. They're coming down to the next, and as they do so, it's Grand Canyon with Silverbuck slipping through. Tommy Carmody on the inside. inside to jump into the lead. Grand Canyon a faller at that one. Grand Canyon has gone and left Silverbuck in the lead from in second place Tide Cottage. Then comes Jack of Trumps still improving. Behind Jack of Trumps is Border Incident, and it's Silverbuck now from Jack of Trumps. Tommy Carmody from John Joe O'Neill. In third place is Tide Cottage, and four closing on him is Border Incident as they race towards the home turn now in the King George VI chase. There are 3 fences left to jump, and it's Silverbuck in the lead from Jack of Trumps second, and Border Incident still closing in third. Back in fourth is Tide Cottage. These are virtually the only ones left in it. Kaz is a long way behind, and so Strombolis. They're coming down to the third last fence now, and it's Silverbuck from Jack of Trumps. Jack of Trumps with his white face on the stand side, Silverbuck on the left. There's nothing between the two. Jack of Trumps jumped a little bit left there. Border Incident's moved into third. Tide Cottage is back in fourth. This is the second last fence now, and it's Silverbuck from Jack of Trumps. Silverbuck lands in the lead from Jack of Trumps. Border Incident is third. They're coming down now to the final fence, and it's Silverbuck for the north. Tommy Carmody trying to maintain his 100% record. He won it last year on Gay Spartan, being pressed by Jack of Trumps for Ireland on the near side. Silverbuck lands in the lead from Jack of Trumps. Jack of Trumps hits the fence very hard, and it's Silverbuck on the far side, Jack of Trumps on the near side. Border Incident has jumped it in third place. Silverbuck is holding Jack of Trumps, and he's going to win it in at the line. Silverbuck has won it. Jack of Trumps is second. Border Incident is going to be third. Tide Cottage is
on
fourth.
their way. Tide Cottage the first to break from Anna Clock's Daughter, and so the run now into the first, and Anna Clock's Daughter going right up on the outside of Tide Cottage, goes into the lead, and a blistering pace in the early stage. They whip over the first, and Silverbuck over in third. Next is an open ditch. Anna Clock's Daughter in the lead from Tide Cottage. Then comes Silverbuck. They're immediately followed by Night Nurse, Chinruller, Bachelor's Hall on the outside, and the complete outside of Tennycoon, the back mark of the 8. And Anna Clock's Daughter really scorching along, and is now some 10, probably 15 lengths clear of Tide Cottage, and Tide Cottage in turn is a long way clear, the remainder headed by Silverbuck. Then comes Night Nurse, Diamond Edge, Chinruller, Bachelor's Hall, and finally comes Tennycoon. But we've got to go right back to the leader, which must be now some 20 lengths clear of the main body of the field. That's Anna Clock's Daughter in the lead. Jumps it big and well. Tide Cottage now comes up to take it in second place. And then after that comes Silverbuck, Night Nurse, Chinruller, Diamond Edge, Bachelor's Hall, and Tennycoon. And Anna Clock's Daughter very nearly a fence in front of the others. Then comes Tide Cottage jumping it in second, followed by Silverbuck, Night Nurse, Chinruller, Diamond Edge, Bachelor's Hall, and Tennycoon. And Anna Clock's Daughter comes over the intersection on towards the next fence, and she slowed up there a bit, but safely over. Tide Cottage jumps it second, Silverbuck over in third, Night Nurse and Diamond Edge hit the top of that one. He's just in behind Chinruller and the last two, Bachelor's Hall and Tennycoon. And once again, Anna Clock's Daughter not jumping well in the lead, but landing safely ahead of Tide Cottage. Then comes Silverbuck, Night Nurse, Diamond Edge, Chinruller, Bachelor's Hall and Tennycoon. And so they swing round the end of the course and make their way into the straight for the first time. And it's Anna Clock's Daughter still the clear leader from Tide Cottage. Tide Cottage now being joined by the rest of the field. That is Silverbuck just in behind him, Night Nurse, Chinruller. Then comes Diamond Edge, Bachelor's Hall and Tennycoon. And so they meet the first of the three in the straight, where Anna Clock's Daughter continues to lead, and jumping a little bit to the left there from Tide Cottage over in second, just in front of Night Nurse and Silverbuck. Then comes Diamond Edge, Chinruller, Bachelor's Hall and Tennycoon. Anna Clock's Daughter still the leader, but coming back to the field, and jumping at second still is Tide Cottage, who's just in front of Night Nurse. Then comes Silverbuck, and just in behind Silverbuck is Diamond Edge and Chinruller, and the last two are still Bachelor's Hall and finally Tennycoon. And so they come to the next, which will be the last next time round. Anna Clock's Daughter in the lead, but by only about 8 lengths or so now from Night Nurse, Silverbuck and Tide Cottage. Chinruller races with Diamond Edge, a gap after that to Bachelor's Hall and Tennycoon. And so they completed the first circuit. They come past the winning post. They have a circuit to go. Anna Clock's Daughter still the leader, but not quite such a convincing margin. Let's join the two Johns for their opinion of the race so far.
Well, there's a good deal of excitement in our box here. Tommy, I don't believe, John Joe, I don't believe that Tommy can last in front, do you?
Not at the gallop he took off us, you know, and then she started missing a couple. He's got a nicely settled now, but I wouldn't be happy not to go 3 miles anyway.
But on the other hand, not far behind her, Night Nurse and Silverbuck perfectly placed, wouldn't you
Yeah,
think?
it's beautiful, yeah, everything is going grand, good gallop for them, everything is running smoothly for the two lads, yeah.
They've overtaken Tide Cottage. Actually, Night Nurse has just dropped back a little bit there, but he jumped that perfectly well. Would you be happy about him?
Yeah, happy enough where he is at the moment, yes. Diamond Edge is just moving up as well, you know.
Diamond Edge is going very well, isn't he? I'm not quite so happy about Night Nurse. He's only just in front of Chinrala now. You think that's still all right?
Yes, once he straightens up down the back, I think he'll start making his move, and I'm happy enough with him, yes.
Well, I hope you're right, John Joe, but with Silverbuck in second place to Anaglogg's daughter, back to you, John.
Yes, they now run towards fence number 13. Anaglogg's daughter still the leader from Silverbuck in second place. And then you've got to go about 6 lengths to Diamond Edge, who's just in front of Night Nurse. And a mistake there by Anaglogg's daughter again, but still just holds the lead from Tommy Carmody on Silverbuck. Now goes up to join her. And then it's this gap to Night Nurse, Diamond Edge, Battler's Hall, and Chinrala, and also Tide Cottage. And so they jumped that one. And Anaglogg's daughter still in the lead, but only just by about a length from Silverbuck in second place, 10 lengths back then to Night Nurse, who's third, in front of Battler's Hall, Diamond Edge, Chinrala, and Tide Cottage. And as they meet the next, it's Silverbuck on terms with Anaglogg's daughter. Night Nurse jumps it in third, and so they're running now to the last down the side of the course, and it's Silverbuck, just a fractional leader, takes it better, but I don't know, both a mistake there, but Silverbuck recovers well, now goes into the lead from Anaglogg's daughter. Night Nurse is in third place, then behind them comes Diamond Edge and also Bachelor's Hall, and so they're making the turn, and Anaglogg's daughter fighting back at Silverbuck, and Night Nurse also closing in on the two leaders, and so they're making their way back towards the straight. They have 3 fences of the King George still to go, and it's Silverbuck just a fractional leader, and Night Nurse and Alan Brown coming looming up on the outside of Anaglogg's daughter. This is the third from home, and it's Silverbuck, Night Nurse and Anaglogg's daughter, those 3 together, and Night Nurse just made a mistake there. They're running now towards the second last, and it's Silverbuck, Night Nurse and Anaglogg's daughter. That's the leading 3. They're clear of Diamond Edge, 2 to go, and Silverbuck over in the lead, but only just from Night Nurse under pressure. Anaglogg's daughter fighting back hard to get on terms, and so they're running now towards the final bend. It's Night Nurse on the near side taking on Silverbuck, who still has the lead. They're coming towards the final bend. It's Silverbuck in the lead, over, and Night Nurse is gone. Oh my word, he hit the top of that one. Anaglogg's daughter now fighting back. Silverbuck is in the lead. They have 100 yards still to go, and Tommy Carmody looks all set to complete the 3-timer. He's done it. Silverbuck is the winner. Anaglogg's daughter is second. Then comes Diamond Edge over in third. Chinrala 4, and a long way back then comes Tide Cottage, and he will finish over the line now. Bachelor's Hall is be the last one to finish, with the exception of Teddy Coon, who's been the back marker all the way through. And already the quotes are now pouring in for Silverbuck in the Gold Cup. Ladbrokes go 8-1, Corals go 9-1, and then we have a quote here from the William Hill organisation, 8-1 Silverbuck from Tens, and the Toad have now slashed Silverbuck's odds for the Gold Cup 14-1 down to 8-1 after this win in the King George VI Chase, won by Silverbuck for the second year running in the colours of Mrs. C.E. Feather, trained by Michael Dickinson and ridden by Tommy Carmody. And so Tommy has now completed the 3-timer, having won on this horse last year and the year before on Gay Spartan. And what a race. Night Nurse must have been in there with a live chance, but it took it all wrong in the closing stages, unseated Alan Brown. But let's see that, and also the closing fences as we rejoin John Oaksey.
Well, and you find 2 sad men in our box, because at this stage we were both shouting our head off, both convinced that Night Nurse was coming, if not to win his race, at least to make a battle of it. But look, because this is the first of 2 disastrous mistakes. He stands off too far, doesn't he, John Joe?
Yes, he does, and he just came down right on top of it. He nearly came down before the fence, you know.
He stood off a whole stride too far. Mind you, Anaglogg's daughter made a diabolical mistake there. What a marvellous race she's run.
She's run a great race. For the first mile she ran so funny for a 3-mile race, really. If she hadn't ran so silly, she would have had a great chance, you know.
But then John Joe was shouting to Alan, because at the second last here, the old horse has still got a chance. He pings that one and lands running, and well, I don't know, it seems to me that if Alan Brown had put his whip down and just kept hold of Night Nurse, maybe it could still have been done. But as you see, coming to the last, John Joe, you talk us through it. It's a tragic sight.
Well, it is really. He's just done the same thing, I think, as he did at the third last, you know, and to come back in the race after making a mistake like he did at the third last, it's just a fair performance in my opinion, so I wouldn't rule him out of any Gold Cup yet.
He's back in it, and look what he does now. You see?
He just mistook his stride altogether.
I mean, he missed the fence completely. It was extremely clever of him not to fall, and Alan Brown had no chance of staying on. So here, Silverbuck winning on merit for the second year running. You've got to jump the fences, so he deserves to win, but in my view, at any rate, he is not winning like a horse to whom the Cheltenham Hill is going to be any advantage. And as for Anna Glog's daughter, well, if she'd behaved a bit more sensibly early on, I believe she'd have won, don't you, John?
Well, she'd have taken an awful lot of beating anyway, definitely would, yes. But Silverbuck, all credit to him, he's come back, he's done his job. You can't expect any more of a horse, really.
Yes, you've got to say, and as Michael Dickinson putting the cooler on Silverbuck, a tremendous triumph for both of them. But I must say, my own view is that this was not necessarily the performance of a Cheltenham Gold Cup winner. Fine performance, though, it undoubtedly was.